Dear Mamu, Ndewo. You're welcome to another beautiful episode with your amazing Igbo language coach, teacher, Princess. I know you are excited. I am so excited to do this. You know I am always excited. Today's lesson is different, not just because of my background, but because of the way that the lesson will hold. Before I tell you about it, give me that thumbs up, like this video. Have you done it? Share and subscribe. Well done if you have just done what you need to do to make our community larger. In today's lesson, I'm going to tell you a story, and it's not a story I'm going to narrate with a material. I'm going to tell you the story orally. I will speak a mixture of Igbo and English to carry you along and help you understand better. Are you ready? Let's go to class. So when we want to tell a story, a folktale, anakoya akuko ifo. Akuko ifo, that's what a folktale is called in Igbo. One thing you have to know about folktales is that they are not real. They didn't happen, but they are just stories that are told to teach something or entertain us. Today's story is going to entertain you. When we want to say akuko ifo, we always start with some expressions like ifo chakpi, and you will say yo. Let's do it again. Ifo chakpi yo, and I'll say onwere akụkọ m ga-akọrọ unu. It means there's a story I want to tell you, and you will say kọrọ anyị ka obi dị anyị mma, which means tell us the story so that we'll be very happy. So I'm going to say it again. Onwere akụkọ m ga-akọrọ unu. Kọrọ anyị ka obi dị anyị mma. Well done. Onwere otu ụbọchị, and you will now say otu ụbọchị ruo. Onwere otu ụbọchị simply means there was one day, or one day, and you will now say the day has approached. Do you get? Onwere otu ụbọchị ruo. Now, that day, the king wanted to get a husband for his princess. This was happening in the animal kingdom, so he wanted a worthy animal to marry his princess. What did he do? The first thing the king did was to get a town crier and use that town crier to disperse the message across in the kingdom. Because those days, people don't have phones, people don't have emails, right? All they needed to do, the only way they had to get information across was to send a town crier to go around the village or go around the community to make the announcement. So the town crier goes with a gong and he goes from corner to corner dispersing the message. I'm going to show you how that town crier gave the message. He said, "Kon, kon, 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 kon. Ọha obodo, geenụ ntị, igwe asịla onye ọbụla bịa n'obi eze. Ọ bụrụ na ị bụ nwoke toruru etoru ịlụ nwaanyị, igwe sị gị bịa na ọ chọrọ ịhọrọ adị ya nwaanyị di ọ ga-alụ. Ọ bụrụ na ị ma na obi kara gị, bịa n'obi eze n'ụtụtụ echi na elekere 8. Igwe ga-agwazi unu ihe unu ga-eme ebe ahụ." What that means is the king said, the town crier rather said, "Kon, kon, 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 everyone in the community, listen. The king wants to select a husband for his princess. If you know that you are man enough and you are old enough to get married, come to the palace tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. The king will give you the remaining information when you get to the palace." So what happened? He did it in different parts of the village at different corners, and everybody heard it. The next morning, by the time it was time for the assembly, everyone had gathered. Tortoise went there last, and he found out that everywhere was full because everyone had gathered. And then the king now started talking to the crowd and addressing them. He told them that the criteria for marrying his princess was that the person that would marry the princess is someone that will be able to tell a story for 7 days straight. 7 days straight without stopping because his daughter loves to hear stories. So anyone that cannot tell a story for 7 straight days will not be eligible to marry the princess. Hey! Onye ọbụla wee sị o ya o ihe anyị ga-eme nsogbu adịrọ anyị ga-eme ya anyị ma akọ akụkọ ifo. What that means is everyone said, really? Is that what the criteria is? But no problems. We can do it. We know a lot of folktales. We're going to tell stories and we're going to win this competition. Everyone thought they could win the competition to be the person that will marry the princess. Now, different animals tried. After telling the story for 5 minutes, the story will end. After telling the story, some other animals will try for 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, the story ended. Some other animals were able to elongate their stories to 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, the story ended. Some people tried their best and got to 1 hour. But after 1 hour, even they themselves were tired. Eventually, everyone was disqualified. It was remaining only Mbe. Mbe is the tortoise. And you know the tortoise in our Igbo folktales is a very cunning animal and a very crafty animal. He told the king, Igwe, aga m akọrọ unu akụkọ ifo. Akụkọ ifo a unu ga-egegidia ruo ụbọchị asaa. He was like, I have a story to tell you, and you're going to hear this story for 7 complete days. O wee sị fa, onye ọbụla chọrọ iri nri ga-abutekwa mmiri eketa o. Maka na ebido ha na akụkọ ifo a, o nwezikwa onye ọzọ ga-ebinikwa. He told them, if you know you are hungry, go and eat now. Because once we start telling this story, you will not stand up from your seat. Oh. They went to eat. They came back. That meant everyone that wants to ease themselves, you want to use the restroom, you want to pee, go now and pee. Because once I start this story, you won't be able to go again. Everybody went to pee and they came back. Start the story. He said, I need to tell you, this story is not for people that are not wise. It is a deep story. It's a story that can only be understood and interpreted by the wise. So if you know you are not wise, just go away. If you know you're someone that will complain, just go now. Everybody said, he said, okay. Okay, what that meant is they told him, we've heard. Say your story. He said, okay. This story has dimensions, oh. Hey, they said, oh God. He said, this story, it has songs. It has questions. It has repetitions. Are you sure people are ready? They sing the corner now. Tell your story. We are getting tired. He said, okay. He started the story. In the normal way we start stories in Igbo land by saying, "Oh, we wrote 2 bochi." There was a day. He said, "Oh, we wrote 2 bochi." And the animal said, "Oh, 2 bochi row." He said, "No, it's not just like that. Oh, we wrote 2 bochi." It's how 2 bochi row now. He said, "Oh, 2 bochi, oh 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 2 bochi." One bar, oh 2 bochi was referring to the cat to sing. The cat started singing, "Oh 2 bochi, oh 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 2." He now told the lion, Odumu, Otu Bochi. That one was not like Otu Bochi, Otu Bochi, Otu Bochi, Otu Bochi, Otu Bochi, Otu Bochi, Otu. And the other, oh man, Otu Bochi. He was addressing all the animals to sing with him. The more he was doing this thing, time was going, hours were going. He was just, time was going very fast. And all the animals joined him. Otu bochi, otu bochi, otu bochi, otu bochi, otu bochi, otu bochi, otu. By the time they sang Otu bochi, one day had passed with all his shenanigans. And then we're the second day. He said there was one man. That man was told to go and get a treasure. Unamayebu treasure. I say I am my treasure. Treasure that is very valuable. This treasure is a treasure that can change a person's life forever. If you get this treasure, The way your life was will now become totally redefined. In fact, they will say, "Oh my goodness, all the animals, they said they were telling him, say this story now." He told them, "You people should calm down now. I'm already telling the story. Why are you in such a hurry? Okay, yo, wait to be not clear." We're like, "Okay, we're calm. We are continue." He said, "This treasure." I thought it was a story of wise people. Why are you interrupting me? This treasure was going to be a life-changing treasure. They said, "Okay, Mbe, we have heard." So he said, this man was told that to get to the treasure, he will have to climb 7 mountains and swim across 7 seas. He was like, the other ones were like, "Wow." He said, "Yes. Ogarugu, Ugwasa, Gwemiriasa." He will climb 7 mountains and swim across 7 oceans. Other animals said, "Okay." He said, this man was going. The man was going. They said, "Yes, we know." He said, "Do you know what it means to go?" But before he went, he had to pack all the things that were needed. He was packing. I'm packing. I'm packing. He said, what was he packing? He said he was packing everything that would take him on that journey that would bring him the treasure. Or he was packing, I'm packing, 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 he was packing, I'm packing. The animals got tired. He said, now, okay, what later happened? He said, no, you have to join me. If you don't join me in what I'm saying, you won't understand the beauty of this story. And they now joined him. They were now singing with him. He was packing, I'm packing. 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 At the point, everybody started dancing. Before you know it, the second day had passed. The third day had passed. They were in the 4th day. And then, they now told them, when he was done packing, he packed everything and put the bag on his back and started the journey. He was going. They said, we know he was going. What later happened? He said, no, people don't understand. I mean, he was going. The man was going. And he was going. They said, before he said, the people are too much in a hurry. This is how the story happened. Calm down. As I'm telling you, so that's how it happened. All of you should calm down. I say, okay, Mbe, Obianya, Adelana, so what did I calm down? So he kept on saying it. He was like, the man was going. He was going and going. He was going and going. He was going. They said, there has the man knowledge. He said, how can he reach so quickly? Do you know where he went to? They said, do you know where this man went to? How can he reach so quickly? It was a far distant journey. Place where you are going to climb 7 mountains and swim across 7 oceans before you get there. Is it an easy place? Is it an easy place? You maybe should calm down. He was going. For everybody started singing with him. Going. By that time that they were done saying going, day 5 had passed. They were now in day 6. Mbe said, the man now got to the place where he saw the first mountain. He saw the first mountain. And he climbed up the mountain and he came down. He climbed up the mountain and he came down. When he climbed the first mountain, he came down, he swam across the ocean. He climbed the mountain, he came down, he swam across the ocean. He climbed the 3rd mountain, he came down. As he was climbing, it was a difficult climb. Because do you know what it takes to climb the mountain? The man was just striving, climbing. They said, yes, we know he was climbing. He said, if you don't understand, have you ever climbed a mountain before? Have you ever climbed one mountain before? Have you ever swum across an ocean before? So you don't understand what this man passed through. Allow me to explain this man's experience to you people. He said, okay, Mbe, I know. He said, this man was passing. He was climbing. When he climbed the first mountain, he came down. He swam across the ocean. He saw fish, he saw different kind of animals, and he just maneuvered and he swam across. He saw the second mountain, he climbed. He came down. He swam across the second ocean. He saw different kind of sharks and he overcame. He climbed the third mountain. When he climbed the third mountain, he came down. And then he swam across the ocean. In that ocean, he saw different kinds of crocodiles and he was able to maneuver and he went out. He climbed the fourth mountain. As he was saying all these things, time was going. Remember, they were already in the sixth day. He said he climbed the fourth mountain. And when he climbed and 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 climbed, he came down. He swam across the ocean. In that ocean, he saw so many alligators, but he overcame them. Then he climbed the fifth mountain. He described all these things. By the time he was getting to the seventh mountain, they were already on the seventh day. And then there was that say, he climbed, he came down, he swam across the ocean. He climbed, he came down, he swam across the ocean. Say, he climbed, he came down, he swam across the ocean. He climbed, he came down, he swam across the ocean. He climbed, he came down, he swam across the ocean. And by the time he was done with all that, he finally saw the treasure. A very beautiful treasure. And he took that treasure. Immediately he took the treasure, he became the richest man on earth. And that is the end of my story. Everybody clapped for him. You're very smart. Look at the way you just kept us here for 7 days with so much demonstrations and activities that we didn't even know when time passed. Wow. He said, do you know what the treasure was? People started trying to guess. A car. He said, Mba, Chacha, Obudubala. What was that thing the person got? Somebody said, a horse. Horse. What do you think people were guessing? Money. He said, no. Eventually, he now said, the person got the princess, and that person is me. The princess is a treasure. Everyone wants to marry the princess because when they get married to the princess, who happens to be the only child of the king, when the king passes on, they become the prince, like they become the king, the next king after the king has passed on. And that was what Mbe really wanted. By the time he ended that story, the king had no other choice but to make Mbe the husband to his princess. And that is the end of this story. Have you liked this video? Have you shared? Have you subscribed? This is inviting everyone. I want to take this opportunity to invite everyone to our group classes. If you know you want to learn Asusu Igbo in a structured manner, you can either join our group classes or our one-on-one classes. I'm going to tell you the difference between the group classes and the one-on-one classes again. The group classes are for large groups of children that learn with their siblings and other children too. Right? It only happens during the holidays, sometimes for 4 weeks, sometimes for 6 weeks. In this group class that we're having for this time around, we're going to be having 6 weeks of classes that will hold 2 times every week. So eventually you have about 12 classes for the holiday. The price is quite affordable. Look at the details on your screen for you to actually get to know it. All you need to do is send a message to this number on your screen. Whether you want group classes or you want one-on-one classes, just come inbox and make your inquiries, and we're going to fix you exactly where you want to be. Okay, that will be all for today. Agamaho. See you next time. Like, share, subscribe. Cody.